Good evening and welcome to Primetime News, live from the News First studios in Colombo. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Krishi Panditharatna. We start out the news with a look at our headlines first.
Making headlines this evening, Indian External Affairs Minister says the central government does not accept the resolution on Sri Lanka passed by the Tamil Nadu State Assembly. The government calls on the people to refrain from spreading malicious rumours which cause disharmony among ethnicities. The President says it is everyone's duty to give priority to children's education than privileges. The National Museum in Colombo that was closed temporarily to be reopened on Monday.
Parliamentarian Thilanga Sumithipala says that nominating an individual to the post of President of Sri Lanka Cricket, who has been accused of several charges, cannot be accepted. Speaking to the media today since the rejection of his nomination to the top post of the cricketing governing body in Sri Lanka, the parliamentarian expressed the following views.
I don't think there are any legal provisions in the country to reject my nomination at the upcoming election. I saw it in today's papers, an issue that is quite hilarious. They don't accept the legality of this, however much we say it. Who is the individual they are nominating from the executive committee? Who is the individual who is being appointed to clean cricket? This individual in question was involved in theft at the Colombo stock market and was fined 3.3 million rupees. I will show you the details. The Securities and Exchange Commission fined Dharmadasa for engaging in corruption at the stock market. It is this individual identified as Dharmadasa who has been nominated to the main board of Sri Lanka Cricket by the executive committee. On the other hand, he has not played cricket. I don't think he even knows the weight of the leather ball. However, he has a letter from the minister. When one brother leaves, another is appointed in place of him. One of the brothers was not given a letter as he did not play cricket. I am surprised how he came to the limelight. An inquiry is being held in this regard. How can he come into the fray without a letter? After nominations are handed over, the minister does not have the power to provide a letter. A president should at least have 2 years' experience in the Cricket Executive Committee. However, this individual in question has never been elected to the main board of Sri Lanka Cricket or at least to the Umpires Committee.
Cricket Palaka Mandale Adubagane Umpiring Committee.
Meanwhile, Minister of Sports Mahendana Dalutkamage said that he has given written permission to Jayanta Dharmadasa to contest for the post of President of Sri Lanka Cricket. The minister added that permission was granted 3 months ago.
The 3 nominations submitted by Upali Dharmadasa, Thilanga Sumithipala and Sumitar Pereira for the post of President of Sri Lanka Cricket were rejected on different grounds. However, issuing a communique yesterday, Sri Lanka Cricket said that Jayanta Dharmadasa was nominated as the next president of SLC by the executive committee at a meeting held last evening in accordance with the SLC constitution, since all 3 previous nominees were deemed ineligible. According to the communique, Jayanta Dharmadasa has given his consent to be the president in a letter to the executive committee of SLC. However, K.S. Peiris, the former Deputy Director of Sports, says that the nomination will give rise to a crisis within Sri Lanka cricket. No matter what the Constitution of the National Sports Association says, what prevails are the provisions of the Sports Act No. 25 of 1973. The provisions clearly state that if there is a vacancy for the post of President, Secretary and Treasurer, then nominations should be recalled and the suitability of them must be assessed by a General Committee. Therefore, we can question this appointment at any time. Last time 2 factions came forward for the elections and one of them withdrew, saying only the ones with the blessings of God could be appointed. Now the team in the executive committee is nominating an individual who has the blessings of the God. If the Minister of Sports is granting permission, then it's a political appointment. We could face grave problems if the person appointed through political influencers is not suitable for the job.
The Director General of the Department of Government Information, Professor Aryaratna Atugala, requests the people to be vigilant of acts of violence perpetrated with the intention of creating disharmony among ethnicities. Issuing a communique, Professor Atugala asks that the people refrain from spreading malicious rumors of such incidents.
In the communique, the Director General of the Department of Government Information, Professor Aryaratna Atugala, says that it is every citizen's duty to protect peace and goodwill in the country at a time when conspirators at home and abroad are working to create divisions among ethnicities to negate the freedom brought about by the victory in the war under the leadership of the President. The communique reads that the total support of the media is expected to inform the people in a manner which assists harmony and coexistence among ethnicities at this time when various forces are working to endanger the country by creating trouble among society and by denigrating the country's reputation at the international level. Furthermore, it notes that the people are requested to have an understanding of undemocratic, extremist and terrorist acts which destroy national and private resources and property, refrain from such activity and inform the government of any such activity. The communique notes that Sri Lanka has for centuries been a nation where people of various faiths and cultures have lived together with cooperation. The communique issued by the Director General of Department of Government Information notes that all citizens must unite to defeat the conspiracy to create divisions within the nation.
India's Janata Party President Subramanian Swamy termed MDMK chief Vaiko's remarks in a statement against Sri Lankan High Commissioner Prasad Karyavasam as scurrilous and demanded his arrest. According to Indian media reports, Swamy charged that the remarks made against the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka by Vaiko is scurrilous and is an offence under Section 124A and 125 of the Indian Penal Code. This was following a letter that was addressed to Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh by Y. Gopalswamy, alias Vaiko, mentioning that the High Commissioner has blatantly violated diplomatic immunity. In the letter, the MDMK party leader Vaiko had stated that the High Commissioner was trying to instigate North Indians against the people of Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, Indian Minister of External Affairs Salman Khurshid, in an interview with CNN-IBN, has said that while the central government of India was sensitive to the concerns of the Tamil community, it will not accept unreasonable demands made by Tamil Nadu. CNN-IBN asked the minister about the central government's reaction to the resolution on Sri Lanka passed by the Tamil Nadu State Assembly, and this is what the Indian Minister of External Affairs had to say.
See, I take it on board that there are very strong feelings in Tamil Nadu, and not just of other parties, but in our own party members have very strong feelings, and we've taken those feelings on board. And these feelings are not entirely out of sync with what many other people in the world think. At the same time, we do believe that ultimately the negotiation that we've done with Sri Lanka, the dialogue that we have with Sri Lanka, and the effort that we've made for rehabilitation in Sri Lanka is equally important.
But you say you've taken that Tamil Nadu Assembly resolution on board, and you say it's in sync with the feelings that many people have even within your own party.
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
That's what I want to ask. Are you, for instance, considering declaring the country unfriendly?
No.
Are you considering economic sanctions?
No.
Would you consider at the UN passing a resolution or encouraging people to pass a resolution to call for a referendum on Elam?
No.
So in other words, those three critical aspects of the Tamil Nadu resolution you've rejected.
Long ago. I mean, there's no question of accepting them. And that's not the only state that has a stake in this. What about the other states? There are many other assemblies. The rest of India is not supporting this. If all of India was to support it, it would be another matter. But if one state supports something, we are sensitive to their concerns, but we don't necessarily have to accept everything they say.
Well, the countdown has begun for the Indian Premier League, which will begin in 5 days. Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lanka Cricket, Ajit Jayasekara, speaking to News First, said Sri Lankan cricketers are yet to officially inform the SLC regarding their participation in the IPL. Jayasekara notes that the players have also not submitted their letters of consent to play in the IPL. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan High Commissioner to India, Prasad Karyavasam, reiterates that the safety of the Sri Lankan cricketers should be assured by Indian authorities.
Number one issue is safety and security of Sri Lankans in India, including sports person. Cricketers are very precious for us, so we want their security assured. If they are not going to Chennai, makes them more secure to play in India, that is good enough. But it is unfortunate that we don't like politics and sports getting mixed up, because that's not a good idea. And so we leave it for players to decide and two boards to decide and IPL decide as to how they want to go forward. As long as our players' security is assured, then I have no issue.
Well, the participation of Sri Lankan cricketers in the Indian Premier League has become a widely discussed topic in India. India's regional Samajwadi Party leader Kamal Farooqi reacted to the decision on Sri Lankan players not being allowed to play in the IPL matches.
I personally feel this is bad for the sports. This is bad for, of course, some of the things are there which the channels should always remain open. As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, we are very sure about the relationship. But at the same time, it is not advisable to get into these sports.
The Secretary to Sri Lanka Cricket, Nishantha Ranatunga, expressed views on the IPL matter in an interview with India's NDTV last evening. Here are some excerpts from this interview.
We wrote to BCCI, and BCCI has given us assurance about 1 week back that they are taking maximum precautions and they are evaluating the situation. 2 days back we got a communication from them saying that it's advisable not to send the players to Tamil Nadu based on certain happenings there, and also we have consulted our foreign ministry through the Ministry of Sports, and their advice was also the same. Other than Tamil Nadu, the players can go if they wish to do so.
So you don't believe that the Lankan players should boycott the IPL at all?
No, I don't think so. Just because of a politician and different political parties, the game should be away from politics. That is the board's policy. And in case if there is a security issue, we will not allow the players to go. So, considering all that, it's our duty to make sure that if BCCI wants our players, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we provide our players for their own.
Now, the issues surrounding Sri Lankan cricketers and the Indian Premier League was also spoken of during the Satana Political Dialogue program, which was telecast last night on our sister channel Sirasa TV.
The other cricketers too need to think that two of their fellows have been gravely insulted. So as leaders and as sportsmen, they must unite to keep the team together for the country. If they think that the others too will be happy when they receive this money and that they will go and earn some money and come back, then there will be a problem in the future with regard to making the team victorious. Even if I was given $10 million to compete in the tournament, I would not go. Especially at a time like this, I would speak to all the players and tell them not to go. This is the policy of the country. I do not see this as a problem with Jayalalitha or Karunanidhi. I see this as an insult to the cricketers. Does that mean that when there are protests coming from there, we too should show our protest even if it is not massive? In the sport of cricket, we are a small nation. We have defeated India and we have lost to India. The identity of our country is that even though we are small, we are strong. We can show this to the world if the cricketers are together.